Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. It's the Temecula Valley Golden Bears girls soccer team, your defending CIF Southern Section Division I champions. Jennifer Gwynn, the head coach, joined by a couple players as well. And Coach, thank you for always making time for me on the Inland Sports Show. I really appreciate it because we are now in the teeth of the season. You got a big one coming up tomorrow. We're going to talk about on Thursday against Santiago. You picked up a big win against Roosevelt yesterday. What have you liked so far early on this season about this Golden Bears squad?
Well, it's funny how every team is just different and they really chase after the legacy of our program and what we create from year to year. So I think the energy and the momentum we started with, everything's so fast coming off club and into high school. But the second they were done with their club games, they were all in. And you can really tell. I think the girls would attest to that. They're ready to go after it and, just are stepping out hard across the board. And everything, whether it's a meeting because we're resting our bodies or we're on the field or, prepping through text even, to get ready for the next match.
So, Coach, you pick up a big 6-2 win against Roosevelt on Tuesday. I mean, 6 goals against anybody is a really great offensive showing. What did you guys do well in that match that you hope maybe carries over against the Sharks on Thursday?
Well, I think I was really proud of the girls adjusting to their system and what we needed to do and calming down and playing our game, which just created great opportunities at net that we capitalized on. So I was proud of them. I think we had to make some changes within the first half. They came out pretty strong and definitely were giving us a great game. And, again, I think the girls and I have a good relationship where I can call them over mid-game and tell them what needs to be done. And 9 times out of 10, they will adjust to that. And we definitely needed to add more support to our middies. And we made that change, I think. And then it just kind of created to give them a little more freedom offensively on the ball.
Well, hopefully we didn't give away all your secrets going into this big championship rematch against Santiago coming up on Thursday. Coach, do you get it? I know it's early on in the season. It's a non-league game, but does it kind of get you excited? Does it get the juices flowing, going up against Santiago and seeing some good competition to get your girls ready for hopefully another deep playoff run down the road?
Well, it's always fun playing Santiago. I think it's a really good, friendly rivalry between the two of us. I think Mike would tell you too. I enjoy him, and it was a great, really exciting for us to have 2 Inland Empire teams in the Division I finals. That made history right there. And they always bring us a good game. And when you play good teams, they make you better. And that's our goal, is to get better every time we're together. So I think we're looking forward to the challenge tomorrow. And, we just want to do our best and see kind of where the outcome lies and then learn from it, because that's what preseason's for, right? So we expect them to bring a big game. And we've coached against each other for many years. So I think we know, it's definitely going to be a tough match.
Well, Coach, let's introduce your players as well it's on the screen left, but to Coach's right, we got Ani Jost, and to the screen right, we've got Juliet Thrapp. And Coach, first, kind of introduce your players. What makes them special? What makes them important to this year's team?
Okay, so Ani Jost, I'll talk about Ani. She was a midfielder for us last year. Ani had a role where she stepped in often, to relieve some players, but in reality, she was such a key component to the game, stepping in. And we were just so excited that she was a sophomore, knowing we had 2 more years with her at that time. Her leadership on the ball and off the ball is just amazing to witness and watch. She's definitely a leader in the making, in the sense here at TV. She's super technical on the ball, and really just a lot of fun to watch. She recently committed, and so I'll let you ask her about that, because that's really exciting. And but we're really, Ani's been with us since she was a freshman, and she has, she came in as the only freshman onto our squad that year, and she just rose to the occasion, and the team just embraced her and loved her. And she was a big goal scorer, and she's our leading goal scorer right now, doing really well. And just also setting a lot up. So I knew this was going to be a special year for Ani, and we're excited to let her finish her 2 years out here as a Bear. So, Ani.
Yeah, let me ask Ani. Ani, first off, before we get to the actual season, where'd you commit to? I know you're only a junior, right? So you can verbally commit somewhere.
Yeah, so I just verbally committed to the Air Force Academy. It's been a school I've always wanted to go to. My dad went there, and I'm really excited to go there.
So it's kind of a family tradition. So I'm sure your dad was very excited, your family very excited for you to commit to Air Force.
Yeah, it was very exciting. I remember the night I was very emotional. I think in the rain after I committed verbally, it was a very emotional night, but also very exciting. So
I've actually been to Air Force once, and it was so cold and it was snowing. So hopefully, your soccer season will stay mild because it's a fall sport, right? At the college level, the Division I level. So hopefully, it won't be too bad.
yeah, hopefully.
Well, Ani, talk about your increased role this season. Like Coach said, you did get plenty of playing time last year, but do you feel like going into this season, there's an increased role in terms of leadership, in terms of offensive production? Do you feel like it's more, maybe it's more of your team per se, that you have more of a leading role this season?
So I would say I have a leading role this season because I also have a big shoes to fill from last year with like Kate and Natalie Mitchell. But I'm also really excited because I get the chance to step into that role, and then I also have amazing teammates behind me and supporting me. So I'm really excited to step into this role.
All right, Coach, and how about to your left, Juliet? What makes her a special player, and what kind of role is she going to have for this year's team?
So Juliet is a center back for us, and she was she was the only freshman that started and played every game last year in the back line. Juliet is so strong on the ball, so vocal. She's going to step into this year knowing that pressure and what is expected of it. And my hope for her is that she really runs with that leadership, even as a sophomore, and just creates that environment to push her teammates around her to really drive towards that winning mindset. Sorry about that.
Well, Juliet, let me ask you, I mean, stepping in as a center back as a freshman, there is so much pressure back there. And to be a freshman, what was it like last season being a freshman playing in such an important position on the field for the best Division I team out there?
I think, like, beginning of the season, I was pretty nervous and, like, it was hard to come into, like, such a good team, But as I got, like, through the season, it became easier to, like, help out and talk through the team, and everybody else made me like feel super welcome. So yeah.
Now, a long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I played varsity as a freshman, and I remember being kind of timid, just raising my voice because I'm playing with seniors, right? Like, I shouldn't be like telling them where to go when they're in the wrong spot and stuff. But how did you adapt to just being one of the leaders and being a center back on a team that had seniors and had great players, but still trying to find, stay in your lane and find your role?
Well, I feel like last year's team especially, we were all so close and we were like a family. So it was easier to talk to everybody, and yeah, they all just like took my advice really well, and I would take their advice too. So it was just like a mutual thing. So.
That's awesome. That's the right answer right there. Good job, Juliet. And finally, Coach, listen, I know you guys are busy tonight, so I appreciate you doing this interview, but I did have to ask you, being the Division I champions, the reigning D1 champs, do you feel like every time you guys take the pitch, people are like, oh my gosh, there's Temecula Valley. Here they come. We're going to have to, give them our A game. We got to step up for the Golden Bears. Do you sense that? Do you feel that for basically all the matches that you step onto the pitch for?
I think we all feel that. And I remember in 2018, it was very difficult to come back. We also moved up a division. So we went from Division II to Division I. So we were not only like, target on our back, we were trying to prove that we could stay in Division I and that we could compete with those teams. And so experiencing, what happened in 2022 and winning the title, I think I know what's ahead of us. And my focus, and my captains, we've had a lot of discussions on the fact that we really want this team to be their own team. And new year, new goals. Like, what are those? We have a huge group of girls returning that felt it. They got to experience it. And, it's really hard to not get ahead of yourself and want to get out after it, but to just slow down because we do know, and we've already felt it, teams coming up against us. And we're learning, I think, how to adjust to that as a team. Like, how are we going to approach every single match. So, yeah, I mean, agreed. Yeah. So, just kind of one game at a time. And this is a new group, and we have some big goals, and they're new goals. And we're excited to make, all our former alumni proud and build off what they've created. So.
Well, Coach, listen, I really appreciate the time. Congrats on the great start. A big one against Santiago coming up on Thursday, a rematch of last year's final. So, Ani, Juliet, of course, Coach in the middle, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Pep.
All right, you got it. That's Temecula Valley girls soccer here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports.